First of all, I want to thank Peggy for her involvement in putting this together. She always does a great job. She always brings a great group of sponsors. So to the sponsors, James, Layla, Carmelo, Lisa, thank you so much for your support in this efforts to bring education to the general public and specifically to the board members and property managers that are looking for ways to continue their education. This is very important. So as Peggy was saying, I've been in this industry for over 30 years, and not only roofing, but also waterproofing. And roofing and waterproofing has taken new relevance lately with what happened in Champlain Towers, since the building starts deteriorating from the outside in. And you know what happens. And I'm sure Carmelo and his class next year will go more into depth into what happened or what happens to the building structure. We deal with the exterior, and we like to really educate the general public on the ins and outs of the roof. And roofing and waterproofing are complex disciplines. And when you're talking about large buildings like where you probably all come from, you're talking about a lot of a big amount of money that has to be invested in the upkeep and the renovation of the buildings. So it is important to really have the knowledge and have certain parameters before you start making decisions on how to deal best with the renovation and the upkeep of your building. And so today's topic is roof warranties, the ugly truth. It is one of my favorite subjects because the warranties are usually one of the most important and the heaviest factors when people are making the roofing decisions. And the funny thing is that when they're buying a roof, the warranty is always in the upfront and on the of the conversation. And then when the project is finished and the warranty is delivered, it's completely forgotten. So so we're going to talk about the dynamics of the roofing warranties. We're going to talk about the different warranties. So let's just jump into the presentation so I don't miss anything. So again, the ugly roof warranties, the ugly truth. Okay, just a little bit of housekeeping. RMS Building Envelope Consultants. It's a registered provider with the Florida Department of Business and Professional Registration. We have the license PVD 951. Credit earned on completion of this program will be reported to DVPR. Records for LCAM members, certificate for completion for non-LCAM members are also available upon request. So what are the learning objectives? At the end of this presentation, participants will be able to understand the differences among the most common roof warranties, understand their rights under the roof warranty, understand the exclusion of a roof warranty, assign the proper weight to the roof warranty when making roofing decisions, and be familiar with the best practices to keep the water out of the building, which is ultimately the goal of everybody is to keep the water out of the building. So let's start with a question. And you know, I wish we were in person, but just think, do you really need a roof warranty? So let me ask another question. Do you have a better protection from the roof warranty or under the Uniform Commercial Code? Are warranty used more as marketing gimmick than true protection to the building owner? Who is being protected by the roof warranty? So during this presentation, we'll be able to answer these questions on how are you better protected and how to really keep the water out of your building. So who pays the lawyer that writes the warranty? So this is a great question because it gives us perspective on what's behind the roofing warranty. So if you ask that question, who pays the lawyer that writes the roofing warranty? The answer is the roofing manufacturer. Whoever is giving you the warranty is going to be protecting themselves. That's why it's called a limited warranty, because it limits the amount of exposure of the company that's issuing the warranty in terms of liability. So who do you think it's protecting? Yes, you have some protection, but the warranties are really made to protect the manufacturing company that's issuing the warranty. So, people say, oh, roofs are just roofs and warranties just warranties. Well, if you don't know, and if you haven't been involved in a roofing project, you'll know that you might think that a roof is just a roof and should be replaced every 10 years or every 20 years, or depending on the warranty, and you put on the roof and you forget about it for the next 20 years. And if something happens, you have the warranty to call the manufacturer, they'll come and fix everything. And, nothing can be further from the truth. Roofs are not just roofs and warranties are not just warranties. There are thousands of roofing configurations, and the best roof is the one that is designed to your individual needs and to the needs of your building. There are a whole array of different construction systems that determine what is the best roofing system for each building. So no, roofs are not just roofs and warranties are not just warranties. The ugly truth is that most people don't take the time to understand what the warranty covers before they buy a new roof. All they see is if it's going to be a 20-year warranty, a 10-year warranty, a 15-year warranty. And it's probably one of the first questions that we get asked. Okay, what do you think about this roof? Can we put a new roof on? What type of warranty can we get? And it's a very generic question. It's a very broad question when you're just asking on the length of the warranty. And unfortunately, it puts the building owner in a very precarious situation when what you have to compare between two contractors, for an example, or three contractors, is the price and the warranty length. Because most likely all the proposals will come with a price, and probably all proposals will come with the same warranty length. So it really doesn't tell you much in terms of what is the best roofing system for your building. It just tells you the length of a document that really means very little, and you'll see why I'm saying this. So let's talk about the different types of roof warranties. So you may have a material-only warranty. What does that mean? Well, it means that the manufacturer will replace only the material that you need to fix a leak on your roof. They're not going to pay for the application. They're not going to pay for the investigation. They're not going to pay for anything. But only once it's determined that the roof was caused by a material defect, you will get the material probably delivered to your site, or you might even have to pay freight. But that's what the material-only warranty will cover. And believe me, there's a lot of them out there. The field system only. What does the field system mean? What that means is that it's going to cover the center of your roof, but it's not going to cover the flashings, your penetrations, your projections. Well, if 90% of the roof leaks are going to come from the perimeters, your flashings, and your penetrations. What the fact that a warranty covers just the field doesn't do much for you. And unfortunately, because it's a 20-year warranty, people don't read the fine print and find out that the system, it's only for the field. Sometimes it is determined by the contractor that installs the project. Manufacturers will not guarantee a system, even if it's the same system, to two different contractors that under their system hold a different certification. So they'll guarantee flashings and penetrations and projections to the platinum contractors, but not to the regular contractor that applies their material. So that's why it's very important to investigate before you make a decision. You have the labor-only warranty. This type of warranty usually comes from contractor where you are providing the materials. So for an example, if you only have a material-only warranty and you ask the contractor to come and put that down, they'll charge you for putting it down and they can give you a warranty, but it's going to be only for the labor. They're not going to cover the material. And if you have a leak again, they'll only cover the labor part if you can prove that the labor was defective. You have also a labor and material supplied by the warranty user only. So what does this mean? A roofing system, it's not just the roof membrane that you see on the top of the building. You also have insulation, you have fasteners, you have metal on the perimeters, you have caulking, you have an array of components that are involved in a roofing project or in a roofing assembly. Well, there are some warranties that will only cover the material supplied by the manufacturer and giving you the warranty. So if you have a problem with a caulking or with a metal that's part of the system, or with wet insulation, let's say you have a leak, they'll say, okay, we'll pay for the labor and for the installation of our material, but you have to pay for the insulation and for the installation of the insulation. So they won't cover that. And again, that's in the fine print of the warranty. You have a system, labor, and material. And these are the most comprehensive type of warranties, that it doesn't matter who manufactures the insulation, who manufactures the metal, the fasteners, or the warranty that you're getting is for a complete system. Everything that goes above your deck is guaranteed by the same manufacturer. Again, these are the most comprehensive warranties that cover the labor and the material, regardless of who the manufacturer is. And then you have the NDL, or the no dollar limit. And they can give you a system, labor, material NDL, or a labor and material NDL. NDL, or the no dollar limit, it's only a gimmick to sell or make a warranty more attractive, because there are no warranties where no dollar limit. All the warranties have limitations. All the warranties have conditions. So the no dollar limit statement, it's just a marketing gimmick to make you think that you're protected, but in reality, it doesn't mean anything. Nobody's gonna pay you $1 million for a roof system that you only paid $100,000. That's where the limit comes in play. The no dollar limit is that they'll pay up to whatever it is that the system, if it's a system, labor, and material warranty, that's where the limit it's drawn. So the no dollar limit, I can assure you that if you get a no dollar limit and you start reading the warranty, you'll find the limit somewhere in the document. So be aware of that. And again, a lot of people just The first thing they ask, oh, is this a NDL 20-year? The NDL doesn't really mean anything when it comes to roof warranties. Are there any questions?
Yeah, Ricardo, I do
Yes.
have a couple. The charges, what are the charges to cost to maintain our roof to keep a warranty? Are there any charges to the association?
Yes, and I'm so glad that you bring this up, because most contractors, when they finish a roofing project, they will try to sell you on a maintenance program. All the warranties will have in their terms and conditions that the owner is responsible for the maintenance of the roofing system, and also they're responsible to keep a log on whatever maintenance there is on the roofing system. Most people don't, or most people find out that they have voided the warranty when they need the warranty, because the technician from the manufacturer shows up to investigate the leak, and the first thing they ask is, where is your maintenance log? And if you don't have that maintenance log, the leak is not covered under the warranty. They'll repair it, but they're going to charge you. So the warranty really was worthless in that case. So most contractors will give you a proposal to maintain your roof periodically, year after year, and there'll be a multi-year contract. What you're going to find out is that most of those contracts, maintenance contracts, are the first few years are overpriced because your roof is brand new. You're not going to need that much maintenance for the first, let's say, 5 years or 8 years. But when as your roof ages, the cost of that contract, it's going to be underfunding the needs of your roofs. And I can tell you, for an example, even if you have a 20-year warranty, the perimeters, the counter flashings have a caulking that goes all around the perimeter. That one has a life span of about 10 years. So I can assure you that the cost of that maintenance contract cannot cover the replacement of the caulking that you're going to need around year 10. So what's going to happen? They're not going to give you, $10,000 value when you're only paying $3,500 for the maintenance of for the contract of your roof maintenance. And that's where corners are start to be caught. And listen, there are great contractors out there, but you have to be careful on just getting what your roof really needs. And that's why there are a lot of roofing professionals like ourselves to help you in determining the right cost for the roof maintenance as the years go by. So I hope I answered the question.
Yes, very, very good. Now, you had mentioned the no dollar limit to stay away from. Are there names of other warranties that we can keep in mind to request when doing these?
Yeah, and I'm not saying that stay away from the no dollar limit, because there are manufacturers that only offer no dollar limit. All I'm saying is just be aware that the no dollar limit is just a gimmick to sell the warranty.
Okay.
Because you might not be able to get a warranty that is no dollar limit from certain manufacturers, because all their warranties are no dollar limit.
I do have another here related here. Will cost of maintenance contracts increase? I'm assuming that they're asking as the warranty or as the roof ages, will it increase over each year?
Yeah, they typically increase, and they get adjusted with inflation. As time goes by, labor cost increase, material cost increase. So you'll see some adjustments. There are some contracts that are 3 years and 5 years, and it's you want to pay a fair price for the services that you're receiving. you don't want to undercut a contractor because you end up getting what you're paying for. So you don't want to pay too little. You don't want to pay too much. You just want to pay a fair price. And that's why I was saying to be aware of those long-term contracts, because at the beginning they're overpriced, and as time goes by, they become underfunded. So ask your roofing professional of choice to help you figure out what the right cost is for the maintenance of your roof. And so that way you pay the fair amount of price. You have an extra pair of eyes looking after your roofs and your building. And that's the way to also increase the lifespan of your roofing systems.
I have one more for you right now. As
Sure.
year after year, how do I know that my warranty is in good standing?
Well, that's a great question. Again, ask a roofing professional for help to sit down with you, kind of go through your warranty. And if you have kept records of the maintenance, if you have done periodic maintenance, most likely your warranty is in good standing. If you haven't done that, also talk to your roofing professionals, because they might be able to help you to reinstate your warranty. And the way to do that is by talking to the manufacturer and saying, hey, look, this roof was put down, let's say 8 years ago. It's still in really good shape. It needs some touch-ups. And if the building owner makes all this upkeeps to the roof and takes care of all these different details, will you be able to reinstate the warranty? And I can tell you 99% sure that the manufacturer will say, yeah, if you do all those things and you bring the roofing system to a performance level, we don't, we'll put that warranty in good standing and let it, but you have to keep that up throughout the remaining years of the warranty.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Yes,
thank you. Great questions.
Thank you.
So you typically get 2 warranties with a new roof. So one warranty is from the material manufacturer, and that could be for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, there's all kinds of warranties. Again, beware of the years that really don't mean much in terms of the warranty. And you're also going to get one from the installing contractor for 2 to 5 years, covering different defects in workmanship. In reality, you only need the material manufacturer warranty, because the material manufacturer, if it covers labor, you cover also for the workmanship. Typically, the contractor gives this to it also covers the manufacturer, that if the contractor for some reason apply the material incorrectly, that they're going to be responsible for fixing the problem if something comes up. But you end up with 2 warranties on a new roof. So just beware of that. And that's what that means, that one is for the materials. And if you have a material and labor, if you only have a material, you better ask for the warranty from the contractor for 2 to 5 years covering the workmanship, because in the term of 2 to 5 years, you'll find out if the system was put down correctly or incorrectly. And again, beware of the long-term implications when you're talking about, we're going to give you a contract for the next 20 years. Most likely, the contract at the beginning is going to be overpriced, and as the roof ages, it's going to become underfunded. And you don't want to be in that position, even if it appears that you would be saving money at the end of the lifespan of your roof. You really are doing a disservice to your roof by not doing the proper maintenance and underfunding what the roof really needs. So
Let me ask you one more.
Sure, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm gonna ask you one because it might affect with what you're just discussing with the warranties. Is it okay to apply, it says that's white special paint, I think it's a coating he's referring to, over an existing flat gravel roof that is not too old? So can you apply something like that, and will that affect your warranty?
Yes, don't put coatings over gravel roofs. The coatings are, and again, that's what they are, coatings. And when you're trying to put it on top of a gravel roof, you know, there's a lot of voids and a lot of places where you're not going to get the coverage rate, you're not going to get the material down properly, and using it on top of gravel is not a good idea. It's not made to restore gravel roofs. There are other options. Talk to your roofing professional for the best option, and don't let, again, there are a lot of coatings manufacturers out there promising the moon and the stars in terms of warranty, and then, you know, once you pay for it and your problem is not solved, they'll find a way to run away from that warranty. I can assure you. So talk to your roofing professionals if you have a gravel roof, and there are certain steps that you need to take before starting or trying to restore a gravel roof. So that would be the answer.
Here's one last one, because I think this is important. It needs some clarification. Somebody's asking, so are you saying don't purchase the extra warranty?
They're gonna give you a warranty regardless, even if you purchase it or not. Why? Because you're better covered under a warranty than under the Uniform Commerce Code. You know, under the Commerce Codes, there are no limitations. So once you put down a roof, even if you don't pay for it, they're gonna give you the warranty. And again, it's just it's a gimmick on in the roofing industry, and you'll see on the next slides why I'm saying that. And probably will be able to answer that question even better.
Thank you.
So what does your roof warranty really covers? So you typically find what the roof warranty covers on the first paragraph of your warranty. So it covers the cost of repairing a leak, and the rest of the documents are exclusions and conditions to limit the warranty. So if you have your warranty handy, check it out. You're going to find what it covers on the first paragraph, and the rest are exclusions and limitations. And believe me, there are some warranties that are ridiculous in terms of the exclusions and limitations that they have. I mean, they're really, some of them are worthless. So let me just go real quick through what's excluded, typically what's excluded on the roof warranty. So for an example, blisters are not covered. There's a lot of modified bitumen roofs out there. The ones that look like, this, have the little granules. And for some reason, especially if they're applied in hot asphalt, they start to develop blisters. Well, blisters are not covered under the warranty, because the blister doesn't mean that it's leaking. If the roof blisters, doesn't mean that it's leaking. And so if it's not leaking, it's not covered in the warranty. Granule loss, this type of system, again, it varies from manufacturer to manufacturer, but they are prone to lose the granules and leave the material exposed. So that's not covered under the warranty. A loss of integrity of the building structure is not covered under the warranty. And you know, going back to what I was saying that Carmelo will be able to talk about, if your building settles and there's a crack in your roofing system, that's not covered under the warranty. Accidents, fire, explosions, war, riot, insurrections are not covered under the warranty. Damage caused by negligence of abuse by others. It's not covered under the warranty. So your AC contractor goes up on your roof, drops a toolbox or drops a screwdriver and punctures your roof. That is not covered under the warranty. Damage by acts of God. What's an act of God? Hurricanes, hailstorms, even storms. A lot of the warranties have a stipulation in terms of the wind. So most of them, unless you have a wind rider, they will cover up to 74 miles an hour winds. So what's that? What does that mean? It means that if there's a hurricane, your roof is not covered, because once it goes over the 74 miles per hour storm or wind, it becomes a hurricane category 1. That is not covered under the warranty. Repairs made by others than an authorized contractor. This is very typical that you have a AC unit removed and replaced, and the guy that does the installation, your mechanical contractor, in good faith, trying to do what's right for you, but not being a roofing professional, will damage the roof and try to patch the roof in the best way that he can. And the roof starts leaking, and when the manufacturer technician shows up and see that the roof was not properly repaired, your warranty is voided. Traffic, storage of materials or equipment. What roof doesn't have traffic on the roof? If you have an AC, there are very few roofs that won't see any traffic. Those have to be very steep roofs, or roofs that are in very high places. Other than that, most roofs have traffic. Well, if traffic caused your roof to fail, it's not going to be covered under the warranty. Skylight leaks, same thing, not covered. Vandalism. If somehow your building is not a high rise and people can jump on the roof, and kids can go up there to drink and to do shenanigans, and they damage your roof, that's not covered under the warranty. Condensation from your AC units, not covered under the warranty. Expansion joints or area dividers, if they're not specifically included in the warranty, they're excluded. Ponding water. What's ponding water? Anything that stays on the roof 72 hours after it rained, that's ponding water. And if your roof leaks in those areas, it's not going to be covered under the warranty. Consequential damages. This is very important because people think that the warranty, it's a blanket insurance policy. If your roof leaks and ends up damaging your ceiling, your carpet, your computer, your furniture, that is not covered in the warranty. The caulking is the sealant that it's used in the perimeter and the penetration. That is a maintenance item and is not covered in the warranty. If your roof leaks because of any of these components failing, and you have not done your proper maintenance, it's not going to be covered under the warranty. Those are the maintenance items that I was referring to. Any component not supplied by the manufacturer. And again, you can see in the bottom of the slide that it varies upon manufacturers and the type of the roofing system. So if you have a system warranty, yes, the components that are even supplied by somebody else will be covered. Any perimeter flashing or penetration flashing. Again, depending on the warranty that you get, those might or not be covered under your warranty. The metal flashings, same thing, it depends on the warranty. Color degradation. Some metal roofing systems have that coverage in their warranties, but most of them don't. So if you install a metal roof today on one of the mansards or on your clubhouse, and it doesn't come with the color degradation, and in 8 years, 10 years, what was bright blue is now some shade of gray, and that's not covered under the warranty unless it's specifically included in the warranty. So this gives you an idea on of the things that are not covered in the warranty and why, and you start to ask why people give so much weight to the warranty when they're buying the roof. At best, most warranties provide the financial protection for the cost of a leak repair on the membrane. So this notion that because you have a roof warranty, if the roof fails drastically on year 19, you're going to get a new roof. That's a pipe dream. All the warranties are prorated. So if you've already received 19 years of service on a 20-year warranty, the best you're going to get is that remainder year of the or the value of the remainder year that you had under the warranty. That's another thing that's stipulated in the warranty. So you're going to get paid if the cost is not part of the exclusion. So they'll repair a leak on the field if it's not caused by any of the exclusions that we just discussed. So also with the warranty, you have as the owner some responsibilities. So you have to notify the leak incident timely and in writing. You have to mitigate the leak temporarily. So if you can put a patch on or put a bucket on top or put a plastic on top of the leak, it's your responsibility to try to mitigate the leak while it gets permanently repaired. You have to notify that if there's a change of the building. In this case, it's very rare that you see a change in the building, but it's also part of the responsibilities noted in the warranties. You have to have reasonable care in maintaining the roof. And it goes to the responsibilities and what we were talking about, having the maintenance contract. You have to use an authorized roofing contractor to perform the maintenance repairs. That is very important. You cannot just ask the handyman of the building to go up and repair the roofs if it leaks, because you're going to void the warranty. And keep the records of the preventive maintenance. That's also your responsibility. And it's either you, your roofing professional, the roofing contractor, somebody has to keep record of what goes on the roof if you want to keep the warranty. So why are people so obsessed with the warranty when buying a new roof? It is one of the heaviest factors when making a roofing decision, but why? In best case scenario, you are covered for the cost of a leak in case you have a leak. You are protected from premature failure of the entire roof system as at a prorated schedule. What I was telling you, if your roof fails on year 18 or year 19, drastically, leaks everywhere, and it has to be replaced, the best you're going to get is the value of the last 2 years that the roof didn't work. The company that issues the warranty is around for the duration of the warranty and is financially sound. So if you get a warranty from, somebody that has been in the manufacturing of material for 5 years and they're giving you 20 years warranty, chances are that if you have a problem on year 15, they might not be around. So you have to be careful on the type of material and who's giving you the warranty. If you take the proper steps to keep the water from entering the building, that's going to be the last thing we're going to talk about in this presentation. You have to take care of your roofs. So what does the authority say about this? So the National Roofing Contractors Association came out with a consumer bulletin. I think it was back in 1977, because the warranty war was, going crazy. Everybody was just giving out warranties, lifetime warranties, 50-year warranties, and there was a lot of confusion in the industry. So they felt the need to educate the public on the warranties. So they put out this bulletin that still very valid to this day. So we can email this bulletin to anyone that wants to. We have it available, and this is a public document, so we can distribute this to anyone that wants it. So I'm going to go through 3 or 4 of the most important aspects of this document. So the first one is the length of a roof warranty should not be the primary criterion in the selection of a roofing product or system, because the warranty does not necessarily provide assurance of satisfactory roofing performance. The selection of a roofing system for a particular project application should be based upon the product's qualities and suitability for the prospective construction project. A long-term warranty may be of little value to a consumer if the roof does not perform satisfactorily and the owner is plagued with leaks. Conversely, if the roof system is well designed, well constructed, and well manufactured, the expense of purchasing a warranty may not be necessary. So this just comes to, put legs under what we've been discussing in the presentation, that, there's a lot more than the warranty when selecting a roofing system. The other important part of this document, there is a common misconception by roofing consumer that long-term warranties are all-inclusive. All-inclusive insurance policies designed to cover virtually any roofing problems, regardless of the cause of the circumstance. Nothing further from the truth. Roof warranties typically do not warrant that the roof system will not leak or is suitable for the project where it's installed. Even the most comprehensive manufacturer warranties that cover material and workmanship generally provide only that the manufacturer will repair leaks that result from specific causes enumerated in the warranty. See, we went through the list of exclusions. That's why this is important. A material-only warranty typically provides only that the manufacturer will provide replacement material. Goes back to what we talked about. The NRCA, the National Roofing Contractors Association, believes that the roofing consumer, with the assistance of a roofing professional, should focus his purchase decision primarily on an objective and comparative analysis of proven roofing system options that best serve his specific roofing requirements and is not on warranty timeframes. Again, this is not me saying it. These are the expert. This is the National Roofing Contractors Association basically telling you what I just told you in the presentation. So if it's not the warranty, what are the typical goals of a building owner when buying a new roof? So here are the most common ones. The first thing is you want a leak-free building. You don't want to be dealing with leaks all over the building, regardless of the warranty. You don't want to be calling the manufacturer to come fix a leak. You want a comfortable building. Why is that important? Well, because you want to live or work in a comfortable building where there are no buckets around collecting water from the roof, and it's, the smell, the whatever it is. You want a healthy building. You don't want every time there's a leak, there's the possibility of developing of mold, especially down here where we live. The relative humidity, it's perfect growing ground for mold on every building. So you want a healthy building. That's why you want it to be a leak-free building. You want a safe building. You don't want slip and fall lawsuits because the leak is right on top of a corridor of a common area and somebody hurt themselves. You want to pay a fair price for the roof, and this is so important. You really have to try to compare apples to apples, and that's where a roofing professional can help you to be able to compare apples to apples and not base your roofing decision on the price and the length of the warranty. And you want to make your roof last as long as possible at a reasonable cost. This goes back to the question that somebody asked about the cost of maintenance. You have to allocate certain amount of money to your roof maintenance, and it is your roofing professional that's looking after your best interest that's going to help you determine what the cost is. So because a consultant, owner's rep, is not trying to sell you on anything, is trying to help you avoid the pitfalls of what's out there. And this is a big one, the roofing and your building envelope. It's bad with minefields, if you will. So what are the best practices to keep the water from entering your building? A sound assessment. You know, you asked the question about the coating on top of a gravel roof. Have somebody that knows about roofing look at the roof and determine what the best way to go is. Detailed specifications. Don't leave it to the contractor to tell you what you need to for your roof. Have a roofing professional come, evaluate, give you options, give you budgets, bring in other players to look at what the best option for your building is. To have a professional project management. Roofing and waterproofing projects are complex. If you miss a part, if you miss a step, it can end up costing you a lot more money than what you're gonna invest in having somebody on your side. The contractor selection, same thing. It is so important to have the right product, but it's also so important to have the right contractor putting it down. Somebody that can do quality workmanship and, you know, do quality assurance and field inspections. If you're not a roofing expert and you go up on a roof while the roof is going down, you don't know if they're putting it down correctly. You don't know if they're using the right coverage rates. You don't know if it's the right sequence or not. Have somebody that knows, make sure that while they're putting it down is present and making sure that the roof is it's a good quality. Pay attention to the signs your building gives you as it ages. You know, if the roof starts to leak in different places, you know, have somebody come and take a look at your roof, listen to your building. If you look at stains on those ceilings, even if it's not a leak, listen to your building. Be proactive when it comes to roof maintenance. Just to give you a piece of data here, the ratio between preventive maintenance and corrective maintenance is at least 1 to 4. So for every dollar that you could have spent in preventive maintenance, you get, if you don't spend $1 doing preventive maintenance, you might end up paying $4 or more trying to correct the problem. So that when you're talking about a large building, that's a lot of money. So another good practice is have a champion of on your side looking after your best interest. A lot of people don't know what a roofing professional does, what a consultant does. You know, we're putting it out there. There's a lot of people. I serve as the secretary for IBEC Florida. IBEC is International Institute of Building and Enclosure Consultants. There are a lot of colleagues out there that can help you in determining what's best for you and your building.
Ricardo?
Yes.
A quick question based on what you're just discussing right now. An association had a roof replaced. They had some problems that occurred. So what recourse does the association have at that point in time? So who would their hero be to go to?
Talk to a roof consultant. The roof consultant can help you deal with the, first of all, identify what the problem is so that the problem is resolved. That's the first thing that you want. You want to stop the bleeding. Mm-hmm. And you want to do it in a way that if that can be covered through the warranty, they'll guide you through that so that your warranty comes in effect and the manufacturer pays for the cost of the repair, or also determine that it is not covered by the warranty, but you know, and information is power. So the earlier you know what your options are, the better you're going to be. If it's something that the contractor is responsible for, that's also your roofing professional can help you sort that out and advise you on whether to seek legal counsel, or if it's a negotiated thing with the contractor, he can be a mediator there too. And it's always, you know, they're always going to be looking after your best interest.
Great, thank you. So certainly some people are identifying you as the authority and would like your information, your contact information, so they can.
Yes, I will put it on the, or Peggy, if you can help me out on this and put that on the chat box, I'll really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Okay, awesome. Did you cover how often the roofs need to be inspected? 'Cause I didn't.
The roofs should be
Comment.
inspected optimally twice a year. Twice a year, once before the rainy season and one after the rainy season. So once before the storms start and once after the storm, especially on a stormy year. And it is important to catch the problems or the conditions before they become problems as early as possible. Typically,
Okay.
roofs get inspected once a year, but I would urge you that if it was a stormy year, that you get your roofs inspected twice a year.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I think with that, we'll move along to your next class. Carmelo, just one last thing. Is Carmelo still on? Did you want to say anything regarding experience or anything regarding that could contribute to support of what Ricardo's speaking about?
Not much, Peggy. I think what he's providing is great information. So I'm just listening and hopefully chime in if people have more of a kind of structural building related comment. Perhaps he may get into stucco related issues and structural repairs on the envelope. I can provide some more info on that.
Okay. Okay, great.
Yeah, listen to your building. This is, look at the signs that your building is giving you. Nobody knows your building better than yourself. So if you see some cracks starting to develop in the facade, some cracks starting to develop in the, in areas where there shouldn't be a crack, pay attention to that, call a professional and get that addressed. The earlier, the better.
Agreed.
I think one of the reasons, if I could just interject, that I wanted to have you have this class, Ricardo, had to do really with the fact that I think a lot of board members and property managers don't realize that they don't have to just use the roofing installer contract for warranty as a warranty basis or as a general rule. I'm not sure, until I really knew a little bit more about your company, being out there just talking to people, if I even knew that there were really a valid reason to have a roofing consultant, why wouldn't you just use your roofer? Well, excellent class for y'all to review. And with that, you want to move on to the next class, Ricardo?
Sure. Just to close out comment for that is if you want to know which side of the table people are sitting, follow the money. And again, there's great roofing contractors out there. I can tell you there are great roofing contractors, but they are roofing contractors that they have to keep their crews busy. They have their expenses. So follow the money, and just like with the warranty, who's paying for what, that'll give you some clarity on what to do when you have a roofing problem. All right, let's move on to the next class. Let me see. Okay, so we're going to talk about the building exterior renovation, and this is more towards the role of the CAM or the board on a building exterior renovation project. Let me start by just qualifying that building exterior renovation projects are very complex. There's a lot of moving pieces. They typically on buildings, they require a lot of investment and important amount of dollars to renovate a building exterior. So it is important to know what the dynamics are for you to better use your resources. So again, this is also a class that is provided through the DBPR, and certificate of completion for no LCAM members are available upon request. So what are the learning objectives of this presentation? You'll be able to differentiate the components of the building envelope, distinguish different signs of deterioration at an early stage, and again ties into what we were talking about with Carmelo. Determine the team that needs to be assembled to assist in implementing a renovation solution, and understand the roles of the different team members, and deploy the team for a successful execution. Again, it is important to have that cohesiveness and the team when dealing with a large project. So what protects you, your staff, your clients, and your investment? It's your building envelope, the building enclosure, your walls, your windows, your roof, everything that it's outside that is protecting the building from the damaging effects of water is what the enclosure is, or what the envelope is. So you got your roofs. You know, the placement of the roof is typically the largest investment after the original building completion. So when you replace a roof, that is probably the largest investment you're going to make after the building was completed. Walls and facade, the water comes into the building from vertical sides more than from the roof. Your windows, the windows are complex systems, and they move differently from the building because they're different materials that your windows are made of. And it's important to upkeep your windows and the sealants around your windows. Your parking structures, I don't know how many buildings of the people that are attending, also parking structure. The parking structure are the most neglected part of the building envelope, and they are the most exposed because they don't have windows. They're typically are open to the outside, and water comes and starts attacking the connectors and the components, and it's really an area that needs to be paid attention to. So what signs is your building giving you? You know, we got to pay attention to what your building is saying. Constantly observing the general state of the building exterior allows the community association manager to anticipate the need of a larger renovation project. Catch, what do they say? Call the monster when it's little. You know, if you start seeing cracks develop on the building exterior, you know, raise your hand, bring it up to the board, bring it up to the to your colleagues, and determine what the next step is. When corrective maintenance becomes a regular occurrence, it's time to call the team. If you're constantly doing repairs on certain things, it's probably time for a larger project, and you have to call a team. So who are you going to call first? So you have, these are the options. You have the board or the ownership, depends on the type of the building. You have the attorney, you have an engineer, you have an architect, you have a consultant or a project manager or an owner's rep. So who would you call first? So these are the questions that you need to find answers for, and that's going to determine who you're going to call first. So is the project feasible? If you don't know, you need to call somebody. How much will it cost? You probably don't know right from the beginning, so you need to call. You're going to call somebody that can help you determine the budget of what needs to be done. How long will the project take? Because you're going to affect the occupants, you're going to affect the traffic, you're going to, you need to have somebody that knows about this type of projects to give you an idea. What will the cash flow look like? You know, what are our reserves? What do we have in our bank account? What have we allocated for this type of projects? Same thing, it goes hand in hand with the budget. How is it going to affect the daily operations of your building? What is the legal exposure of doing a project or not doing a project? You know, I wish this this question was asked by the people at the board of Champlain Towers, and would have been taken a lot more seriously. What would the project follow? How will the project follow the bylaws? So all the associations and all the buildings have bylaws that they need to adhere to. What do we need to obtain permit from the building department? Same thing. If you don't know this answer, it's time to call a team to help you determine this. How much do we need for contingency? So these are all things that you might have asked yourself at one point or another, but it's important that you, and that's why it's important that you don't try to do this on your own, because there are a lot of implications, a lot of ramifications that you need to take into consideration when you're dealing with large projects. So calling your trusted consultant, project manager, owner's rep, however you want to call it first, will have you answer, or we'll find the answer to all of those questions. So it is important that you have a professional on your side helping you find all this answers. The building envelope renovation projects are complex. I can't stress that enough. With many moving parts that a specialist will assist you manage. The golden rule for large building envelope project is planning. If you plan ahead, you'll overcome a lot of the problems, or you're gonna anticipate a lot of the problems ahead of time, and you can have a smooth running renovation project. But you have to get your ducks in a row. Again, given that building envelope renovation projects are complex, there are a lot of moving parts that need to be organized and deployed in the correct order to avoid surprises and unnecessary expenses. The order in which you do this is also important. Why? Because if you don't know and you start asking questions, you can, if you, just to give you an example, if the first thing you do is call your lawyer is going to give you all the reasons why you should not or should do the project, and is going to leave you more confused than if you come to the lawyer and you say, hey, we have this project that we need to do. This is the budget that we have. This is what we have in reserve. Then the lawyer has a lot more to play with and a lot more to help you with than if you come to them first. Overstepping the process will create confusion, delays, and ultimately cost you money, because you're going to have to be paying for legal fees ahead of time if you're not ready. So get your ducks in a row, deploy your resources in the right order. So what is the process? So get an independent assessment. Why is this important? Because an independent assessment is just going to tell you the what so of your building without trying to sell you on anything, without trying to save you on anything, but to give you the truth as it is, and the clear idea that you have on what the condition is, the better decisions you're going to be able to make. You know, if you need to do some testing, and this is where, you know, an engineering firm may come to play, and if they need to do some stress testing or structural testing, or that can give you some of the options for solutions. It's also going to go hand in hand with creating budgets. If you have a budget and you know what the solutions are and the options, and you've already established the path, then you start developing, or your team starts developing, the specification. And the specification, it's important because levels the playing field when you call contractors to bid on the project. So you have a competitive situation where you have apples to apples. The comparison is clear. The baseline is defined, and everybody's bidding under the same conditions, so that you have the ability to ultimately do a really thorough analysis and comparison of the options that you have for the bidding process. So you don't have to, going back to the last presentation, you don't have to base your decision on warranty length and price. You have a lot of other things to consider before you make a decision. Once you go through the bidding process and you have all this information in front of you, then you go through the contractor selection or the evaluation of the contractors, and you see, their history, past project, past experience, recommendations, et cetera. Then you go through the contractor selection. You are ready to select the contractor that's going to execute what the engineer and what the consultant put together in the specifications, and you execute the contract. This is where your attorney comes into play. Have them review or if they have a contract, have them provide a contract that's going to protect you and the building and the board when it comes to the execution of the project. And it doesn't stop the project, because that's, I don't know if there's any lawyers in the audience, and forgive me for this, but sometimes lawyers are naysayers. They try to protect you so much that they kill projects from the get-go. So go to the lawyer once you know that you really need a project and you have your ducks in a row, so they can see that in the execution of that contract that you're not overexposed and you're properly protected. So the contractor goes and applies for the permit, gets the permit released, and you go into the pre-construction phase. This is so important for the execution of the project. The pre-construction meeting or the pre-construction phase is where all the logistics, all the communications, all the flow information, the authority flow is established. You know where the project is going to start, where's it going to finish, how long is it going to last, what's the timeline of the project, what's going to be affected in your operations, what is the communication that needs to go out to the occupants, when that communication has to go out. It saves you a lot of time and aggravation when you put attention to the pre-construction phase, because it sets the stage for a smooth running project. So that's why you need a professional help you run this and have this and administer this phase, so that the project runs well. You minimize the impact on the occupants, you minimize the interruptions, and you have a smooth running project. You once the project starts, you need to look out for safety. Safety in the execution of the project is paramount nowadays. There's a lot of compliance that needs to happen, and again, the professional on your side is going to help you and the contractor make sure that the safety is in place for the execution of the work. The work execution, the quality assurance, make sure that the job is being done according to the specifications, that there's no deviation in the materials, that what they bid on is what they're doing on the project, whether it's a window replacement, a facade replacement, or waterproofing, or there's a roof replacement, that the quality assurance is in place. The project administration. So this has to do with payment requests, that make sure that what the contractor is requesting for payment is what's been done or has been done on the project. So your building envelope professional can help you determine that, so that the cash flow that you determine at the beginning of the project, it's executed properly. And then the communication. Also, the communication is that glue that keeps the project and the parts on the project moving in the right direction, with the right expectations. And if there's a problem, that you can address it promptly, and you don't let that monster grow. You kill the monster when it's little, and the communication is really the basis of a smooth running project. All the parts get communicated, and everybody is on the same page, and the project gets executed properly. The project completion. Once a project is done, there's a lot of things that need to happen once the project is completed. You know how many times we show up and the contractor goes to get the permit, and he finds out that there's 3 permits that on that property that haven't been closed, and the building department is not going to issue another permit until those permits are closed. So there's a lot of documentation. There are warranties to be delivered. There are releases of liens. There are closed permits. There's all the different documents that need to be assembled in one package at the end of the project. You know, you have to make sure that you have all that, and that's another thing where your building exterior professional can help you with that. To get all that, you have to make sure that, you know, the project passes final inspection, not only for the city, but from the manufacturer and from the consultant. And if there are any punch items that need to be addressed, that they are addressed in a timely manner so that the project can be closed out. And then move into the, if you have a warranty, you can move on to the warranty maintenance or to maintain your warranty in case you come to need it. But this is just to give you an idea on the complexity and all the moving parts on a renovation project. A lot of people want to do this themselves, and that's where they end up in trouble. That's why once the project is done and they're having a problem, you don't know who to call, because everything has been done, everything's been covered, and you, as the building owner, end up holding the wrong end of the stick.
Ricardo?
Yes.
When you have a moment, I have several questions that I think
Sure.
will fit in right here. One is, well, this is back for the roofing. So do roofing contractors have to be certified through the roofing material manufacturer for the installation of their project?
Yes.
Or product, or does the contractor just need to be licensed as a roofing contractor?
No, the contractor, in order for the material manufacturer to issue a warranty, it has to be installed by one of their approved or certified contractors. And the manufacturers go through a very rigorous process of approving a contractor that not only can show the experience, and this not only for the roofing, also for the windows and the waterproofing and all the building exterior projects, it's the same thing. They have to prove that they know what they're doing, they have the experience of knowing what they're doing, that they are financially sound. You know, they don't want to partner with somebody that don't pay their bills, or that you know, has a lot of legal issues and things like that. So they go through they scrutinize the contractor before they approve them, and then they have to keep up the performance to stay approved by the manufacturer. It is in your best interest to stick to the contractors that are approved by the manufacturer, because of that scrutiny that they go through before they can be allowed to bid on one of the projects. You don't know how many times I get asked to, hey, can this contractor, XYZ contractor, bid this project? You know, I tell them, look, it's not up to me. It's up to the manufacturer. I go to the manufacturer. They say, no, you know, we don't have that contractor in our list of certified contractors. You know, it's a waste of time for everybody to allow a contractor that is not approved by the manufacturer, because it only brings noise to the equation. They end up bringing other proposals with different materials that have not been tested or analyzed or evaluated, and it just brings noise to the equation. stick to the contractors. If you've already agreed to a system, stick with the contractors that are approved for the application of that system.
Okay, thank you very much. Another is, are moisture tests worth the money?
Absolutely, absolutely. Moisture, when it gets inside the roofing system, it's like a cancer. Sometimes you don't see it by just walking on the roof, that the water that came in is starting to spread on the insulation, and it's basically making the insulation obsolete, because water it's very good in transmitting heat and cold. So the insulation is no longer doing its job, but it's also affecting. It could be affecting your structure, because the water could be seeping into the concrete and the structural elements of your slab, and it's also going to start affecting your roof membrane. So the sooner you can determine if your roof has moisture in it, the cheaper is going to be to address it. You're not going to let that cancer grow on your roof and affect the other components of your building. And there's by law, if there is moisture in more than 25% of the roof area, you cannot longer repair that roof. If you want to do a repair, it has to be the entire roof. When you're able to catch wet areas that are only 5%, 10%, 15% of the total roof area, you still have options where you can bring life back into the roof and make it last, double its service life at a fraction of the cost. If you let it grow and let it spread, you're not going to have another option but to replace the roof. So the moisture surveys are 100% a great tool to know what you have, to have an assessment. And again, the moisture survey is not telling you other than what it is, what the condition is. It's a snapshot of the condition of the day that the moisture survey is done. That's why the building department has reduced the time that they allow a moisture survey to be used for a permit from 6 months to 3 months. So if you do a moisture survey because you're starting to have leaks or you suspect that there's moisture in the system and you want to use it for permitting, that permit needs to be pulled or applied for within 3 months from doing that moisture survey. And why is that? Because again, it's just a snapshot of the day that the moisture survey was done. And if you wait 6 months, if you wait a year, that cancer could have grown and affected other areas.
Great, thank you. Also, does your information today apply to metal and tile covered surfaces?
Yeah, I mean, anything that it's on the exterior of the building, it doesn't have to be a gravel roof, or if you have a metal roof, if you have metal mansards, they are part of those building elements that are most exposed, that are that receive the brunt of the elements. And the other thing that's important to mention is that the building envelope, in many cases, interacts as a system. So if there's a settlement in the building and the building settles on one side, that affects the roof, it affects the other sides, it affects the windows. If the, keep in mind that your building is moving, expanding and contracting every single day. And that's just by temperature, the temperature that affects the building materials. So all the components in your building, especially if you're talking about metal, it's expanding and contracting every single day. So all these things apply to metal roofs, tile roofs. You have to pay attention to, because the tile roofs, even though they might not have problems in the field, there's a point where they terminate, either hit a wall or have a valley or have a crest, or there is the building shape changes. And that's where, if the building moves, those are areas that have the most stress, and you have to be paying attention to them.
Right. Do you suggest using RFPs for each area? I'm assuming he's referring to roofing part and waterproofing.
Yes, because your roofing contractor most likely is not going to be the waterproofing contractor. So if you have a building where you have to do more than the roof, you have to go into the windows or the walls, you're going to be dealing with different contractors. So absolutely. And their expertise, their knowledge, you don't want, believe me, because I've seen it in the past, where people hire the roofer to do some window waterproofing. The way they handle the caulking on compared to the way a waterproofing contractor handles the caulking on, you can see it a mile away. In the roof, it's aesthetics on how they apply the caulking is not that important. On the window, totally important that not only the caulking is applied correctly, but it's applied nicely and with a good termination. So yeah, I would differentiate each area because of the different contractors that are in play.
Okay, we're getting a bunch in here. Do you have, or can you supply a list of certified approved contractors?
And I don't know exactly what the situation is. When we have a project, what we do is we tell the building owner, okay, the building owner and us as consultants, we determine the right option, the right system that's going to go on the building. And we provide them a list of contractors that we intend to invite. In case they have had a bad experience, even if they are approved by the contractor, they might not want to invite a contractor. So we have that conversation prior to inviting the contractors to bid. Yeah, so we provide that to the building owner.
Okay, thank you. And are silicone roof coatings suggested for good economic warranty maintenance solution over modified roofs?
So every building has, and I can give you an example of a product that we have right now. You walk on the roof, it's a modified bitumen, it looks good, it doesn't have any blisters, it doesn't have any splits. A moisture survey was done, and it came back with only 10% of the area that was wet. But when a bell chamber test was done, and the bell chamber test is kind of a simulation of what a storm does to a roof. The roof was not adhere. The insulation underneath the roof membrane was not adhere to one another. So the technician that did the test was able to pick up the insulation with their hands. So just imagine if you put a coating on top of a roof that is not adhered to the surface. The next storm, your roof is going to end up with the silicone. Brand new silicone is going to end up in the parking lot. You know, you try to put that on the warranty, and the manufacturer's going to say, hey, it's not my fault that this roof didn't hold on. You try to talk, I mean, you're going to have a lot of legal problems trying to justify that decision if you're not careful. So again, it depends on the project. It's not, there are a lot of great silicone coatings out there, but you have to have the right information. This particular building had received a couple of proposals from contractors trying to apply the silicone coating. And if we hadn't been thorough and do our due diligence in the condition of this roof, he might have contract one of those. And again, it would have been a waste of money because that roof was not properly adhered from the original install. So,
And do you need a permit for those types of coatings if one should choose to do that?
it depends on the municipality. It varies. Some municipalities don't require, if it's treated as a repair, some municipalities don't require a permit, but some do. So again, it varies from municipality to municipality. Talk to a professional.
I'm not understanding this question. However, you probably will. Are exterior renovation projects something that should be looked for in a 40-year evaluation and related report?
Yes, absolutely. Your 40-year certification will also bring up any exterior, because I know the roofing is part of it. I've been part of this type of certifications where they bring us in as roofing experts to evaluate the roof and to provide the building owner with options to the roofs depending on what we find. So yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I think we're all caught up here for the time being. So
Okay.
take it away.
So leverage your team. You have a team, and you as a community manager or a board, if you're in charge of the renovation, you're a board member in charge of the renovation of your building. You have a team that can help you out sorting out all this variance and moving pieces to have a successful project. So leverage your team that will assist you in many tasks pertinent to the project so you can focus on what you're best at. And, if you are retired and you want to enjoy life, well, your team will allow you to, you have the right team, you can still enjoy life and not go through the headaches of trying to run a project. Your team will help you put the accurate budgets together, coordinate testing. This includes the moisture surveys, the pool test, any testing that you might need, engineering test, coordinate solutions with the manufacturer's rep, creating the bid package so that everybody bids apples to apples, reviewing the bids for accuracy and make sure that they're on an even playing field, reviewing your payment request, managing the project meetings, reporting to the relevant parties. You have somebody watching the project and they foresee some changes or some implications of logistics, whatever. If they step up in front of it and they communicate, they'll save you a lot of aggravation. And reviewing the completed work, doing the quality assurance. Your attorney, you have an attorney in your most associations have an attorney, some legal counsel that can help you, help them make sure that the contract documents are written correctly, that you don't have any unnecessary risk or unaffordable conditions that might not be in your best interest. So use your attorney to review contract, suggesting additional or deletions, verifying the legality of the agreement. If there's any bond requirements, some projects that are more than $500,000 projects, it might not be a bad idea to have a payment and performance bond, and protecting your best interest. I mean, it's part of your team, so leverage your attorney, part of your team. Your board of directors or the ownership of the building, they are those that will overlook the project at the very, very high level, that need to be informed of the progress. They need to be informed, and at the same time, you want to keep them at bay to avoid disruption of the project. One of the problems that we see in the in projects with condominiums association is that there's always somebody that knows somebody that has a friend that is telling them something different that what the board wants to do. You know, it's a lot of noise. That's why you are hiring professionals. That's why you are making that investment so that you don't get that noise. And if you can help keep that noise to the minimum, that also helps you. The board is going to help you fund the project, maintain the cash flow, approving changes if there's any changes, and communicating internally so that the project moves forward smoothly. So the community manager, the community association manager is the quarterback, is the coordinator, is that the person that has the contact with all the moving pieces so that the project is executed properly, and assist in pulling the permit. They're not going to pull the permit, but they are going to be the ones that will get the signatures for the permit to be submitted. Implement the safety, make sure that they are protecting the occupants of the building. Keep the workflow, you know, that there are not unnecessary interruptions to the execution of the project. They also see that the specifications are being followed, and by communicating with the professional, they communicate with the consultant or the project manager, and they also are your eyes as building owners. They are your eyes around the building. If they see something that it's out of place, that it's not quite right, they raise their hand and bring it to the proper team member to have it resolved. So the key components and of the renovation process, and again, overstepping the process will prove to be time consuming, quality deterrent, and risky and expensive. So make sure they have a clear process established at the beginning so that you get an unbiased assessment that you're doing really what your building needs, nothing more, nothing less. If you call a contractor and ask them for their opinion, they're going to try to replace your roof. That's why they're contractors. They're going to replace your windows or reseal or recode and get an unbiased opinion on what your building really needs. Get detailed specifications. The difference that the metal that is used in a re-roofing project could be the difference from your roofing system lasting more than 20 years or lasting about 14 years. And if it's not in the specification, the contractor is gonna or might end up using not the right metal for your roof or for your flashings if you allowed that. You know, the bidding process, that it's a level playing field, that you're making the decision based on not only the warranty and the cost, but there are a lot of other elements like the experience, the references, the certification of the contractor with the manufacturer, etc. We talked about the pre-construction, how important it is to have the logistics established before the project starts, the quality assurance in place so that you get what you're paying for. You know, the closeout package so that you can complete the project and have all the documents in place. And that's not only for insurance purposes, for legal purposes. You want to have all those documents handy. So if anything comes up after the fact, that you are well prepared and well documented. And the communication process, key to successful execution of a building exterior project. So that concludes this presentation. I really appreciate you giving me the time and the opportunity to talk to you about this subjects that from the questions that we got, I know that, you know, it's important to the community managers, to the board members, to the property managers, that these things are addressed. Are there any other questions?
I don't have any others here. You've answered them all beautifully.
Okay, well, I'd just like to mention to everyone that he does have 2-hour courses available, even further on each of these topics. And hopefully in 2022, you'll allow us to have you again, Ricardo.
Absolutely, and we're putting together more classes, so I hope to see you all soon.
Okay, so while I close, I just want to request from any of the audience or anyone, even my sponsors, that you help me plan 2022 and send me any information regarding classes you're looking for or any of your interests and so on, so I can bring you some more experts and have some really great topics for you in the new year. You can send them to me at my email address, pwest, that's P for Peggy, at 1-800-lighting.com. I also want to thank all the guests again today for your time attending. I want to thank my sponsors, of course. I really appreciate your support and emailing as many people to get our classes attended. I especially want to thank Layla and her team at Vinteum Software for all the IT work that goes behind all the classes this past year and especially today. And I want to thank Jimmy for moderating today from LM Funding. Great job, Jimmy. It's hard to keep up with those questions. That's why I don't do it. So thank you. And again, I also want to thank Ricardo as our presenter. Great information, very well planned.
Thank you, Peggy. And before we go, I just want to offer each and every one of the participants a free consultation. I'll be more than glad to sit down with you guys or with your board and take a look at your building, take a look at your roofs, and without cost or obligation to you, and establish what the next steps could be.
Awesome.
Please, I'll make sure that I'll write my email address, do it by email. It's a lot easier for me to track appointments if you do it by email. We'll sit down, we'll look at your warranty, make sure that your warranty is still valid. And if it's not valid, we can help you out in determining what needs to happen to bring your warranty back into good standing. So, and again, I want to offer that to each and every one of you.
Very generous, very generous. Thank you so much. Okay, well, I hope all of you have a very special and happy Thanksgiving and a very blessed and happy holiday season ahead. And don't eat too much pie. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.